There are actors, and then there are legends in the making. Benedict Cumberbatch belongs squarely to the latter. Born on July 19, 1976, in the upmarket district of Hammersmith, London, Benedict was practically destined for the stage. Both his parents, Timothy Carlton and Wanda Ventham, were actors of considerable repute. Yet as much as it seemed like a family tradition, Benedict's ascent was anything but guaranteed. What followed was a journey of resilient craftsmanship and an insatiable curiosity for complex characters. From a young age, Benedict was immersed in art and culture, but it wasn't until his time at Harrow School, one of England's most prestigious boarding schools, that his talent for acting truly took shape. He starred in several school plays and was even recognized for his portrayal of Titania, Queen of the Fairies, in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Yes, you heard that right, Benedict played a fairy queen, and he did it with such charm that teachers couldn't stop praising him. After Harrow, Benedict took a gap year to teach English in a Tibetan monastery, an experience that left a profound impact on his perspective on life and humanity. He returned to pursue drama studies at the University of Manchester, followed by rigorous training at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, LAMDA. That classical grounding would become the bedrock of his intense layered performances. By the early 2000s, Benedict was making waves in British theatre and television, but everything changed in 2010 when he donned the famous deerstalker hat to become Sherlock Holmes in the BBC series Sherlock. His razor-sharp intellect, combined with a frenetic energy, made his portrayal of the detective utterly captivating. Suddenly, the world couldn't get enough of Benedict Cumberbatch. And once Sherlock skyrocketed Benedict to global stardom, the offers started pouring in, not just from Britain, but from Hollywood, the ultimate stage. What was remarkable, though, was that Benedict never seemed overwhelmed. Instead, he picked roles with a sharp eye for depth and challenge. He was the tormented Julian Assange in The Fifth Estate, the tragic genius Alan Turing in The Imitation Game, and the power-hungry dragon Smaug in the Hobbit series. Each character felt like a different corner of his mind, and somehow, Benedict always found the light in the darkness. It was The Imitation Game that earned him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor in 2015. Playing Alan Turing wasn't just about embodying a mathematical genius. It was about capturing the loneliness, the burden of secrets, and the cruel injustice of his life. Benedict delivered a performance so tender and raw that audiences couldn't help but ache for Turing's tragic fate. This role cemented his status not just as a brilliant actor, but as an artist capable of humanizing history's forgotten heroes. Then came the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and with it Doctor Strange. When he first appeared as the arrogant neurosurgeon-turned-sorcerer in 2016, some questioned if an actor known for intellect-driven roles could fit into a flashy superhero suit. But Benedict Strange was unlike any other superhero, witty, philosophical, deeply flawed, yet endlessly redeemable. The cape, the hand gestures, the mystical wisdom, it all clicked. Suddenly, he wasn't just Sherlock or Turing. He was also the master of the mystic arts. Outside of the camera lights, Benedict's life is refreshingly grounded. In 2015, he married theater director Sophie Hunter, a union that felt less like a celebrity affair and more like two kindred spirits finding each other. Together they have 3 children, and Benedict often speaks about fatherhood with a glow of humility and joy. For a man who spends so much time embodying tortured minds, his personal life is a sanctuary of calm and love. And just when you thought his career couldn't evolve further, 2025 arrived with The Roses, a haunting poetic film that redefined Benedict's artistic boundaries. Directed by the visionary Ava DuVernay, The Roses tells the story of a reclusive poet navigating the fog of grief after the sudden loss of his partner. Benedict's portrayal is quiet, yet thunderous. Every glance, every silence speaks volumes about loss, love, and the human need to remember. Critics hailed it as his most mature performance to date, with whispers of another Oscar nomination swirling around. In recent years, Benedict has also delved into producing, keen on nurturing new talent and stories that push boundaries. He founded the production company Sunny March with a group of close friends aiming to tell stories that are bold, challenging, and socially relevant. Through Sunny March, he's helped bring projects like Patrick Melrose to life, a brutal yet beautiful miniseries where he delivered yet another stunning performance, portraying addiction, trauma, and redemption with heart-wrenching honesty. And then there's The Roses, a film that will likely be remembered not just as a career peak, but as a statement of his artistry. In The Roses, Benedict's poet character lives in a house overgrown with wild roses, each blooming a symbol of a memory with his lost love. The film is both visually stunning and emotionally devastating, weaving grief with fleeting beauty. His performance is so restrained yet emotionally potent that many left theaters in contemplative silence. Ava DuVernay in interviews described working with Benedict as collaborating with a poet who acts. Looking back, Benedict Cumberbatch's journey is the stuff of inspiration, not because it was flawless, but because it was honest. He's faced doubts, typecasting, and the relentless scrutiny that comes with fame. Yet through it all, he's chosen depth over spectacle, compassion over vanity, and growth over comfort. As he once said in an interview, "I just want to keep being surprised by what I can do." Now, as he steps further into his 50s, with a repertoire that spans Shakespearean tragedy, Marvel magic biopics, and art house poetry, like The Roses, Benedict Cumberbatch stands as one of the finest actors of his generation. But perhaps more than that, he remains a storyteller in whatever form that takes. A storyteller who with each role invites us not just to watch, but to feel. Benedict Cumberbatch's life and career feel like the perfect balance between brilliance and humility. From his privileged beginnings in Hammersmith, London, born into a family of actors, he was destined for the arts. But destiny alone doesn't build a legacy. Benedict did that with relentless dedication, deep curiosity, and a refusal to be boxed into any single type of role. His early years at Harrow School, his transformative journey teaching in a Tibetan monastery, and his rigorous classical training at Lambda laid the groundwork for a mind and soul that sought depth in every character. And when Sherlock came along in 2010, he exploded into the global consciousness, not just as a genius detective, but as a cultural phenomenon. Yet Benedict never settled. Hollywood called, and he answered with roles that demanded vulnerability and power. The Imitation Game, The Fifth Estate, The Hobbit, and of course his enduring presence as Doctor Strange in the Marvel Universe. Each character wasn't just a performance, but a window into the intricacies of humanity. Outside the screen, Benedict is a committed humanitarian, lending his voice and presence to causes like refugee rights, climate action, and social justice. His activism isn't performative, it's personal, sincere, and consistent, showing that his empathy is as real off-screen as it is in his most stirring roles. Then came The Roses in 2025, a film that critics now call the crown jewel of his career. Playing a grief-stricken poet surrounded by the living memories of his lost partner, Benedict gave a performance of such quiet devastation that it redefined his artistry. The Roses isn't just a film, it's a meditation on love, loss, and remembrance. And through it, Benedict proved that even after decades in the business, he's still reaching new heights. Today, with a loving family, a respected production company in Sunny March, and a career that continues to evolve, Benedict Cumberbatch stands not just as one of the finest actors of his time, but as a storyteller who bridges art with life. His journey reminds us that success isn't just about talent, it's about heart integrity and the courage to keep surprising oneself.